guys, good morning. This is Steve Walbach, your friendly public adjuster. I'm putting together another video here. I want to give some more information out. That's what this is about. I want to inform the homeowner because I believe that if I'm successful in doing so, that someday, sorry about that, can return to me and the ability to try to help them. Sorry about that. So with that being said, I want to talk about two policies, your middle of the road one and then the better one. I'm not going to talk about the very best and I'm not talking about the very bottom. We're going in the middle here. The middle policy is one that is known as a named peril policy. And you have your 16, 17 perils, depending on how they want to break it down. And with that, this policy covers you for those, with a lot of different exceptions and everything else, unfortunately. Some of the examples of that would be wind, rain, hail. You could have flood. Well, actually, flood is not. That's something different. Fire, smoke, freezing pipes, things along those lines. Okay, those are some of your typical middle of the road perils that are covered. Now, when we go to the better policy, where the other one was a named peril, this one is known as an all risk. Although a lot of times people will argue with that, and they would say that it should actually be called a what's it say here? A named exclusion policy. Now, what's that mean? Well, named, you're going to specifically identify something that took place, right? And exclusion, that is to not permit that. So what are some examples of that? Well, in this policy, they would say floods are excluded. Now, you can get a rider, right? You can get an endorsement. You can get a flood policy, but that's not going to be part of the main policy. You can get protection as far as, what would we say here? Ordinance of law. Now, what's ordinance of law? Ordinance of law is something where you have some work being done at the property and it needs to be upgraded. It's not meeting code. Now, because of what was damaged, you have to redo that. When you're going to rip all this apart and you're going to rebuild, now you have to bring it up to what today current code standards are. The insurance normally would pay you to replace, put back what was originally there. Well, code, your local code enforcer, when he comes, when the permits are pulled to have the work done, he says that you can't build it the way it was anymore. You need to build it this way. A quick example of that would be of receptacles. You have a situation years ago, if you never did any work, the house was just what they call grandfathered in, where you never had any GFI receptacles anywhere. And then over the years, they said, no, you have to have GFI receptacles in different kitchens, your kitchen, in the bathroom, anywhere around. If it's a receptacle right next to a water source, supply, you need to have that. They had arc fault protectors. So we're talking about some electrical upgrades. You might have a situation of certain insulation to be in the walls now. You might have to have a certain thickness of what the studs would be in the wall. So these are different code upgrades that the policy normally would not cover. But if you do have a rider and include that in, now you would be able to meet that local code, which states that for this work to be redone now, when that local inspector comes out, he's going to be able to look at things. The insurance company will pay up to a certain dollar amount. And the policies state that in there, what dollar amount they will actually pay up to. It's usually a percentage of what the dwelling figure is. But that's some of the main differences between a middle-of-the-road policy, which is very distinct, and here it is. We've got these 16 perils, where this other one, it's so encompassing, we don't usually talk about what it covers. It's easier to put a list together of what it's not covering. So I hope that helps you a little bit. Well, let me ask you, what policy do you have? Do you have that middle of the road? Or do you have the better one that's going to cover you for a lot more things when something happens? Or do you have that really low one? Let's hope we don't want to find them anymore, but they're out there. They're almost basically like what we call real, quick example. Oh, it's a fire policy. You're not really covered for that many things. Basically, when you have fire, now there are a few things that go smoke. There are situations that are covered as well, but very limited protection. The middle of the road gives you more, but to have that better one, and let's face it, this is your property, right? This is the one thing that you've put your blood hard investment in, right? The single most largest investment you'll ever make is in your home. So guys, if you have any questions about this, if you'd like me to do a policy review to see what you have, or if you've had damage and now the insurance company is saying that, well, no, you don't have coverage for this, let me take a look at the policy. Maybe you actually do, and that perhaps it was just accidentally misinterpreted. And if we can find it where we can tie coverage to what you've just suffered during your loss, that means you're going to get paid on that. The insurance company will indemnify you, will make you whole on the damage you've just suffered. Wouldn't that be great? Everybody wants to be whole, right? We don't want to walk around being half. Guys, have any questions, give me a call. I hope that this is something that's was knowledgeable for you, that you've learned from this. Please, if you give me one of these, if not, you can turn one of those. Please share this with others, and would you please subscribe? I appreciate all the support, and I hope that you find this beneficial. Thank you very much, and God bless you.